Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 2 gang, y'all, let's get it, y'all. Part 2 gang, y'all, let's get it. Like, share, subscribe. Let's get it. Let's go. Man, I promise you, man, I told myself, I said, man, somebody is definitely ratting, man, but it's not me. It's not me, though. It's definitely not me, man. It's crazy. I'm like, yo, this is crazy right here. I'm like, yo, this is wild right here. And I'm like, man, they get my bros, man. I'm like, man, one of my homeboys beat the J. You know what I mean? He one of them water everyday type of dudes, too. He beat the J. You know what I mean? My other 2 homeboys that was roommates, they go down. The ones that was in cell 8. I'm like, man, that's crazy. So I'm mad. You know what I mean? They pack them up while we was out at wrecking everything. They didn't care about none of that. They packed them up. The CEO from 3 Building, the whole came and got them. Took them boys to the can, man. Took my homeboys to the can, man. I looked up. I seen the dude Thomas. He was walking to the joint, about to get some hot water. He had his coffee mug over that stupid wall. He was like, he started looking around. He was like, he put his cup under the hot water. He started looking around. He was like, he caught my eyes again. I was like, I'm just looking at him like, he filled up his joint. He got his spoon out of his pocket. He was like, he walked away and done his walk. I said, man, this motherfucker. I said, I know it's him. I said, man, this freaking clown, man, I know it's him, man. I said, I know it's him. Who else could it be? Who else could be providing this info that's doing direct hits? These people are doing direct hits, but when he looked at me, he gave me that look. I know he was telling himself like, Weezy ain't go down. Nah, Weezy ain't go down. Weezy smart. Yeah, I know how to smart you old heads. Y'all think y'all got all the sense. You don't got all the sense, but I still didn't have no proof. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if these people just targeting certain people. I don't know what. All I know is just on the strength that he tried to throw the buck on me, pause. Like, I felt like it was him. That's how I was feeling, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. I was feeling like it was Thomas. So I'm like, man, I'm like, this joke crazy, man. So I'm like, yo, I'm gonna holler at his roommate. I was like, that's who I need to talk to, kind of like. I was like, I don't know how much he rock with Thomas, you know what I mean? But I was like, he do be scoring for me. But since I ain't had nothing, you know what I mean? It was like, nobody really wanted to get nothing at this particular moment. I'm not lying to y'all, man. Nobody was feeling like they wanted anything, man. Like, it's definitely somebody in the pod that's ratting, man. Like, it's in the air. You can see it. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody in there looked worried, man. Like, it was just crazy. It was a crazy thing. You know what I mean? So, another dude, man. And this was the dude that used to make the spots, man. He was the dude that made the little spots. He used to make spots for people. White dude, cool dude. We're going to call him Sean. But Sean, he was another white dude in the block. Didn't bother nobody, didn't mess with nobody, man, but he used to make spots. He used to know how to make Bama spots. He knew how to make spots on your clothes. He knew how to do a lot of things. He fixed CD players. You know what I mean? He was one of those type of guys, do tattoos every now and then. He wasn't nobody that was like on nobody's radar. He wasn't on nobody's radar, but he started messing up when he became one of those dudes that started like being the ones that break the fence. You know what I mean? Like, people started like, Sussex 2 is a dangerous place at this time. You know what I mean? Like, people used to really want weapons, like a lot, or at least not on you every day, somewhere close. That's how people used to want it, man. Like, and it used to be the white dude in there, Sean, man. He used to kind of make them jumps through the fence. Like, I don't know how. Don't ask me how he used to break the fence. I don't know. All I know is he would pop up every now and then with like 2 sticks. The 2 joints. I used to call them sticks because they wasn't that skinny on the handle, but the tip had that fence piece on it. You know what I mean? He'll sharpen it up real nice, and that's definitely going to puncture you too if it hits you. You know what I mean? So like, at the end of the day, that was his little hustle. Now, it wasn't like it wasn't bothering nobody that he was hustling like that. It just started bothering people that they was hustling like that. One day they came in the pod. It was like all the administration, we was all in the cell. So it's like sometimes when administration come in, they'll come in and do rounds when the CEOs will just walk around and start searching stuff. Not like as an institutional shakedown, but just like they'll just look around, start looking under tables and stuff like that. So I guess Sean left one of the joints like at under one of the tables, like in the side. Y'all know like the creases, like it's 4 creases of a round table. So he probably had the joint like stuck to like one of the little crease side parts of the little, you know what I mean, the little table. So when the police came and did their little rounds, they saw that. Now this is after already like at least 7 people has caught a dirty urine in our pod now, y'all. So it's looking like 4B is kind of on fire slightly. But at the end of the day, after finding that weapon, it just made it crazier. Like, so when they found a weapon, they found the joint. The dude, the CO dude, he give it to the sergeant. The sergeant dude get it and say, hey, is anybody gonna put ownership for this? Because if it don't, I got the options of locking y'all down until we find out. Everybody was like, man, you can't lock us down for that, man. Like, well, you ain't finding on nobody. And so that's where everybody, we calling this bluff. Because what is you talking about, Sarge? You wildin', you know what I mean? So he make the announcement. He talk about how this and how that. But at the end of the day, I knew he was mad about that. He was mad about that joint, man. Like he was mad that he got embarrassed in front of the administration. You know what I mean? This is the warden, assistant warden, everybody's with him. So I know this is why he was angry, and that's why he made that statement. It was nothing he can do to see who really joint that was. So he took the joint, man. I ain't gonna lie, he took the joint, man. But what they did do to drag us, man, is that they locked us down for 2 whole days. They brought out trays and they locked us down for 2 whole days, man. I promise you, man, like they was so petty with it. They didn't even let Thomas out to pass the food out. They didn't let Thomas. We thought they was about to come do a shakedown on our whole block, but they didn't. But they bucked on Thomas, they bucked on everybody, and they fed us in the pod for 2 days. And then they came in that joint and had a meeting, and they came out, and it was the lieutenant. Well, after we came out, it was the lieutenant, the sergeant, the unit manager, and they were like, look, it's a lot going on in this pod, a lot of people with dirty urines, it's a lot of people that's got the P tests, a lot of people that felt P tests, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of stuff that's going on in this pod, you know what I mean? So, like, at the end of the day, like, if we hear about anything else, then after finding that weapon under the table, so I know it's weapons in this pod, so if we hear about anything else, we are coming in this pod. So, like, everybody just was like, man, that jump was crazy. Everybody was looking happy that it was out after 2 days. That's how everybody was looking. Like, I was looking like, man, I'm happy to be out the cell. I looked over at Thomas. Thomas was standing there like, I said, man, I know it's him, man. I know it's him, man. I know it's him, man. I know for a fact it's him, man. So they had their little meeting and everything was said that needed to be said. So they told us we was back out to Empire Rec. So we come back out for Empire Rec. I look up, I see Thomas back there with the old. He's like, man, everybody always bringing heat to the pod. If you're going to bring heat to the pod, man, you need to move one of them pods that got all the heat. Everybody want to keep bringing all this heat to the pod. Why everybody want to bring all this heat? Every time I look up, there's some heat in the pod. I'm just trying to do my time. I've been locked up 17 years. When he said that, that's when I first found out how long he been locked up. And that made me hate him even worse when I heard he was locked up 17 years and he had the potential of being a rat, y'all. So boom. But being locked up for a lot of years, that don't exclude you for being not a rat. You can still be a rat. You still can eat the cheese, man. And I'm telling you, man, I was going to find out. If it was the last thing I do, I was going to find out, man. I still had to holler at his roommate. But that kind of, all that stuff kind of threw me off. After they did all that, the knife game, all that was over with, man. I seen his celly. Found him, man. I pull up on him, man. I was like, yo, look, what's good? He was like, what's up? I said, man, what's up with your celly, man? Like, he don't like me or something, man? What I do then? He was like, I don't think he don't like me, Weezy, man. I said, well, what is it? I said, man, because for real though, man, you know he said some old disrespectful stuff, man, before my everybody went down for the first Dirty Urine games. He was like, what? I said, man, he's talking about why everybody went down except me. He was like, what? He was like, you the one, what do you mean? I was like, bro, I don't know, bro. I said, for real, I ain't even tell you, because like I don't know how you deal with him, bro. I was like, man, but for real though, man, like your selling, man, I think he the cops, man. Like, he trying to put that on me. I said, that's what really made me look at him as the prime suspect of somebody like this. He was like, bro, for real though, bro, like, you know, sometimes, like, you know, he'll leave out and dip out, you know what I mean? He'll say he gotta go to the medical. He'll be gone for a little second. I said, when? He said, it usually be like before count. He said, y'all don't be noticing because he'll dip. He said, he'll dip before count and they'll count him wherever he's at. And then he'll come back after count. He said, only reason you don't be seeing it, he said, because you be thinking that they just opening our doors so he can come out for diabetic pill call. Because he was a diabetic as well. So I'm like, for real, he be dipping? He was like, yeah, he be dipping, man. I was like, man, that's crazy. I still didn't have no evidence about this, man. But like it was really getting me a little angry about him though. But I was just like, you know, I'm gonna play my position on him, man. Like I still couldn't really push nothing at him like that, you know what I mean? But like still, I have seen a lot of stuff happen. So as soon as we start talking about that, we locked down. After I hollered at selling, we had locked back down. Man, I promise you, man. Look. See the police coming. Yo, police is coming in here. Police is coming straight in his joint. And they went straight to cell 14, which was the cell under me, man, which was the white boy Sean's cell. And they went up in that joint, boom, they kicked his joint in, went in that joint, handcuffed him and his roommate, got him and the white dude sitting out that joint, handcuffed, and they sitting out that joint. And they just out that joint, man. And white boy Sean just sitting out that joint, he just looking around like, you know what I mean? They went in that joint, they start taking everything. Man, they start taking everything. They're like, who joint is this? I thought it was a weapon. That's what I thought it was, but it was a tattoo motor. That's what they found, you know what I mean? They didn't find no weapons, no drugs. They didn't find none of that. They found that tattoo they had, you know what I mean? So who joint is this? So Sean was just staying quiet. His roommate was like, it's mine, man. His man was like, it's yours? Like, yeah. He's like, all right, lock both of them up. So Sean was like, well, I'm going to hold for. So he locked Sean up too. So it's just crazy, man. So he done locked the tattoo man up. The man that be fixing the CD players. The man that fix everything. What we gonna do now, y'all? So boom. This is getting out of hand, man, but we definitely have a rat in the pod. And I'm running down these incidents one by one. Just for y'all to see the footprints of how psycho this dude is, man. Or even if it was him that I was thinking. I had it was him the whole time. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I had it was him the whole time, man. It was crazy. So I'm like, man, I ain't tripping on this junk, man. So I'm like, yo, this junk, like, for real, I'm mad. I'm super mad now. Seeing all this, they done ran down on Sean. I'm like, Sean was all right. It's crazy, man. You know what I mean? So we come out, everybody upset. They were like, yo, Sean was fixing this for him, and now he gone. Dude was like, he owed him a tattoo. He gone now. I was like, man, this is crazy right here, man. Like, this is crazy right here, man. Like, somebody's definitely ratting in this pod. Like, who is it, man? Like, is it Thomas? I was like, I'll tell you one more thing. I said, let them mess with me again. I said, man, if they come at me again, me and Thomas gonna have some problems, y'all. So boom. I go upstairs, man. So I'm in the cell, my celly, man. I tell him straight, I'm like, yo, man, like, what you think? I said, you think it's Thomas? He was like, man, I think it's Thomas. I think it's Thomas, man. Real talk, I think it's Thomas, man. Like, yeah, I think it's him. I was like, why you think it's him? He was like, cuz, man, like, I just don't trust him, Weezy, man. Like, you know, he cool, but after all of this transpired, like, it's somebody definitely in here that's working with the people. So I'm like, man, this is crazy right here, man. So he like, I'm saying, though, like, you can't get no more routes, Weezy, man. He was like, this is the best time to capitalize. This is the best time to capitalize, man. I said, what, when I got a whole rat behind me chasing me? I said, nah, this ain't the best time to capitalize, bro. I said, this is the time when you fall back and enjoy your riches. He was like, nah, I'm telling you, Weezy, you should go ahead and just strike up on him right now. He was like, man, what can he do? You ain't messing with the la-la no more. You don't mess with the la-la no more, right? He was like, you ain't even tell me you won't messing with the la-la. I said, man, listen, bro, like, everything ain't for everybody. I was like, by the end of the day, man, I said, man, one of these old heads telling them. I said, I don't know who it is. I said, one of them is, though, man. I said, I'm going to figure it out, though. So that's three sets of people that went down. That's the first sets of people they put it in the cup. They went down. Then the second group of people that was from Norfolk, they had to put it in the cup. They went down. Now, white boy Sean done went down, man. So, like, I'm not even feeling like I want to stay in this pod no more, man. Like, my homeboy up in 4C, he telling me what's going on up there. Like, they chilling, man. He was like, yo, it's Mouse and Red team up here. He was like, bro, we coolin' though. Like, this joint sweet. One of them gamble, mess with the la-la. I'm telling him, like, yo, somebody, they was like, yeah, bro. He was like, yo, the COs was talking about how they was blitzing y'all jank and all this is going on, all this. I'm like, yo, I don't know what's going on. I was like, bro, I had a whole route. I said, man, somebody done told on the route. My route got peed. I was like, man, that junk crazy, man. I was like, man, that junk, I was like, my route had to put it in the cup, bro. I was like, man, this is crazy, man. Can't wait for losing. He was like, man, you might as well come up here. I was like, let me see what I could do. But for real, I was going to feel bad about dipping on my roommate. My roommate was an older dude. He didn't have a TV, you know what I mean? But he was just one of those dudes that kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to say he needed my help. But like, you know, I was just so used to being in the room with him because he stay out the way. He watch what I watch. He used to hit little commissary here and there. You know what I mean? But he really didn't have nothing. So I would look out for him. But I don't mind never looking out for my roommate. That's the problem I don't never have. You know what I mean? My roommate don't got nothing. You cool. You ain't no Viking game. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to look out for you, bro, if you're hungry. Like, I'm not going to do it like that. Pause. Like, I'm going to carry it like I'm supposed to carry it, man. I ain't one of them petty dudes, man. But at the end of the day, though, man, I was going to feel bad about dipping on him. But I was going to end up having to dip if this stuff keep going on. So I had one of the women told him. I was like, yo, I'm going to end up dipping, man. I was like, my homeboy upstairs. Like, they up there doing their thing. Like, everything going cool up there. He was like, for real, who got it up there? I was like, man, I don't know. He was like, man, for real, man, I'm thinking about messing with the la-la. Get us some la-la, Weezy. He was like, man, forget Thomas. Don't let Thomas mess your beard up. Get some la-la, Weezy. I was like, bro, I don't want to smoke no la-la right now. I was like, bro, I don't want to mess with no la-la right now, bro. I was like, cause I ain't gonna get away with it. I said, y'all pod on fire right now, bro. I said, I can't get away with it right now, man. He was like, man, well, look, well, who got it upstairs? Then I'm gonna try. I said, bro, look, my homeboy got it. I don't, you know what I mean? So they popped the doors. So as they popping the doors, I come out. It was another group of dudes from Richmond. They was hearing about it too, that the Lala was upstairs. So they see like, Weezy, who got it upstairs? So I'm like, yo, my man, you know what I mean? So I'm telling a few different dudes that they got it upstairs. So that's where the Lala is at, y'all. You know what I mean? So I was impressed on the joint, but I still would help a couple people that I knew because it was my man that had the joint. So everybody trying to put their bids in, holler at whoever got the joint, dude in the hallway, he running upstairs telling people messages, and I guess that's how people making the plays. So everybody did them. Everybody got right before dinner. You know what I mean? So right before dinner came, that's when my roommate was like, hey, Weezy, man, who's the dude? We about to go to chow. I said, you gonna buy something? He was like, yeah, I'll probably buy something, man. You ain't gonna mess with it with me. I was like, nah, I'm not messing with it, man. I'm not gonna mess with it, man. The whole time I just looked up. I seen the dude Thomas like this. He was just looking around. He was like, he trying to figure it out who got it. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at him like, I can't stand this old nigga, man. Like real talk, I couldn't stand him. He was one of the old dudes I really didn't like, y'all. I really didn't care for him at all, man. But at the same time, though, man, like I still didn't have the proof that I wanted. You know what I mean? I didn't have the proof I wanted. Y'all don't think I'm willing, man. And the next day morning, y'all know what happened? Them people blitzed 4C, y'all. So boom. And I look out the window. I'm looking out the window. All you see is niggas like this. Niggas going to the bank right next door. 3 buildings right beside 4 buildings. You walking right there. We see niggas walking. What? I'm like, oh. I'm like, yo, what they going down for? They was like, oh, no. They just got locking dudes up in 4C. I look, I see my homeboy. I'm like, oh. I'm like, this junk crazy, man. So they go down. You know what I mean? They go down. They not in our pod, so we can't get the full story off the rip. So we went to child. We come the long way. We hear one of the dudes in the window. I said, yo, my man in. I said, oh, sell my man in. He was like, he in the back. I said, yo, ask bro, is he good? Like, you know what I mean? He was like, yo, hold on. So I guess he went to his door and yelled out the door because they in the same pod. I just couldn't see him where he was at on the back side. So his man on the front side. So I guess he went to his door and yelled out, hey, Weezy say you good. So he talking to him through the door. So he come back and was like, hey, Weezy. He said, man, it's whoever you turned him on to told on him. I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, it's somebody from y'all pod. I'm like, man, shh. So when he said that John kind of was like, I was like, yo, like, you know what I mean? I looked up. Thomas was standing like this, waiting for the roadblock to finish. He was like, the whole time like this. I'm like, yeah, fuck, I got a trick for your old ass, man. I'm like, this shit crazy as a bitch. So I ain't say nothing, man. You know what I mean? But like, I'll be lying to y'all if I didn't feel responsible for this hit right here, man. Because it was like, I was orchestrating everybody to go upstairs to holler at my man. You know what I mean? So I told myself, I said, man, see, man, that's why I ain't want to mess with the joint. He was like, I ain't even get a chance to buy the stuff. Everybody running to him. I was just going to wait till after child. I'll just tell you to get it from me. I said, man, this joint, he gone. He was like, no. I was like, man. I said, yo, this joint crazy right here. Man. I was like, man, this joint wild right here. I said, man, I can't take it no more. So I went in the cell, y'all. I went and changed my shoes. I put the bullshit Nikes on. You know what I mean? I took my blue shirt off, took my sweatshirt off that I had on, and now I just got the tee on with the jeans. And I'm like, yo, for real, though. I sat down. I sat myself down, and I had to think. I was like, yo, is this worth it? It got to be worth it, bro, because like you might as well just go to the fucking hole, like just crash out. And that's how I started thinking, like, yo, what's the use? Like this nigga gonna make me go to the hole anyway. So like I ain't never really been through no shit like this. I done been around little rats and little shit. This right here was this was real crafty right here. Like this was crafty work right here. So I'm like, I'm about to just crash the fuck out, man. So I got my shit. I ain't tell my celly what I was doing in that. You know what I mean? I just kind of came out on the tail and I was just standing by my door. I looked down over at Thomas Sale, looked down at his ass, got down. He's standing down there with his roommate. I'm like, man, shit crazy, man. I was like, man, I was about to just push right then and there, but I didn't. Something told me don't do it, so I go down the steps. They clear the top tier. The door's closed, and I come down the steps. His roommate walked past and said, yo, what's up? I said, hey, look, I'm about to fuck your celly up. And he was like, for real? For what? I was like, for what? I said, bro, listen, man. I said, somebody ratting, bro. I said, man, it's kind of crazy. Like, you know what I mean? So as he's saying that jump, man, this word, like, I see him back there. He kind of like by his homeboy cell, like by the showers a little bit, like by cell 11. And he kind of standing back there and they just going off the mouth. And I just hear him like, yeah. There's a problem here, somebody here. And he's speaking out loud. He's not talking to me. But it's making me feel like, it's making me madder for some reason. He's like, Yeah, this pod hot. This a hot ass pod. Yeah, this pod hot as a damn pistol. God damn it, this pod hotter than goddamn the Sahara Desert. That's how hot this damn pod is. Yeah, goddamn it, somebody in here doing something they was supposed to be goddamn doing. Yeah, goddamn this hot ass pod. Yeah, he just talking out loud. I'm like, he talking to his homeboys though, and I'm like, I hear it. You know what I mean? I'm like, this nigga talking what? Next thing you know, I waited. They do sale break. He go stand by cell 11. You know what I mean? That's where the homeboy sell at. So he go stand like by cell 11 where his homeboy sell at. And I just come behind him. He don't even see when I came behind him. I came behind. I was like, let me holler at you right quick. And I kind of gave him like a little elbow. He turned around. His turn around, I guess it was reaction. He swung. He swung his hand like this. But I weaved the shit. That slow ass shit out of here. I was like, yo, look. He got me. He was like, why the fuck you hit me like that? I didn't know who the fuck you was. I said, yo, look. Fuck that shit, man. So his homeboy, another older dude. You know what I mean? So when my homeboy see me in the door, he come to the door. So he's like, oh, what's up? I was like, oh, I was like, yo, hey, what's up, man? What the fuck? I said, what you telling us something, man? He was like, what? I said, what you telling us something, man? His homeboy was like, hey, Weezy, y'all get out my cell with that shit. I was like, man, shut the fuck up, man. I said, yo, look, is you telling him what, man? He was like, man, what the hell I got to tell for? What the hell I got to tell for his homeboy? Man, this word, he put his hand on my shoulder. So he put his hand on my shoulder. I caught him. Boom. When I caught him, old head rushed me. I couldn't believe it. Old head rushed me. Boom. I hit the wall. I tripped over his laundry bags. I hit the ground. Man, my word, man, old head on top of me trying to give me the business. Old head recovered good. I'm trying to recover for that shit. I just see my homeboy come. Get the fuck off me. He was like, y'all need to start over if y'all gonna fight. I look up. I see the nigga goddamn Thomas. He don't know what to do. He ain't help dude. So now my man in there, my old homeboy done coming to cell. Now he like, fuck going on, Weezy? I'm like, yo, man, this nigga gotta go, man. I was like, this nigga hot, man. I was like, man, I got it, man. Fuck this nigga. I was like, Thomas, you a bitch, nigga. You a bitch. He's like, how the fuck I'm a bitch? How the fuck I'm a bitch? I ain't no motherfucking bitch. I said, you a bitch, Thomas. You a fucking bitch. I said, you the one in here. I'm loud. I know the whole pod can hear me, but we inside the cell. I was like, yo, you a fucking bitch. The whole pod. Goddamn it, I know they know you telling. How the fuck you telling? I said, you trying to put that shit on me? Nigga, I said, you the fucking cops, nigga. Fuck around with you, nigga. He was like, man, everything I love, I ain't the damn cops. I ain't the damn cops. So the dude, the old head dude that he pulled up off me, goddamn, he ain't never rushed me, you know what I mean? I'm in the back of his cell now. He kind of by the door. He like, and my home, he see my two homeboys in there though. Then Thomas kind of like on the wall right here. And I'm talking to Thomas. Like for real, I don't know why I didn't even take off on Thomas. You know what I mean? I was supposed to take off on Thomas' ass right there and there. Bow! Get this shit back cracking again. But like for some reason what Thomas was saying, I heard what he was saying. You know what I mean? Like I heard what he was saying. But goddamn, at the end of the day though, man, it wasn't feeling like it was a lie. I'm being honest with y'all. I wasn't feeling like what he was saying was a lie. That's not excluding how I was feeling. Because right now, me and his man got a problem. So I'm like, I said, yo, look, what's up? What you trying to fight? I said, come on, let's fight then. He was like, nigga, you the one trying to fight. You the one that fucking hit me. You the one that fucking hit me, young. I said, man, look, let's fight then. Fuck around with y'all niggas. Y'all old ass niggas, man. It was like, it ain't us. You trying to put that shit on us? It's y'all niggas. It's y'all young motherfuckers. Y'all young motherfuckers don't know how to move. And he just going back and forth. And I'm like, this shit wild as a bitch. He like, yeah, y'all young motherfuckers don't know how to move. It's y'all. Y'all trying to put it on us. It ain't us. It ain't us. Y'all don't know how to move. We ain't the ones in here. We don't help the police. Y'all help the police because the way y'all move. And he just going off. And I'm like, so I'm like, man, come on, Weezy, man. I'm like, for real. I looked at the old head. I'm like, look at Thomas. I was like, I wanted like my arm wouldn't move, y'all. I don't know why. I'm like, my homeboy like, man, come on, man. Look, don't swing. He tell the old head right there. The old head was like, no, he good. Yeah, y'all need to look in the fucking mirror, though. That's what y'all gotta do. So as we step out, he's still loud. Y'all need to look in the mirror. All you little young dudes. Yeah, look in the mirror. Y'all the reason why it's hot in here. The way y'all move. I was like, how the way I move? I wasn't even gonna say nothing to him because me and him already was about to fight. But I had to hit it. I said, bro, how I'm hot from the way I move? What are you talking about, man? What the hell is you talking about? He was like, you come in here smoking in a pod. You the one brought that coach in here. That shit is hot. You don't do that shit. Smoke outside or in your cell, Weezy. I was like, Thomas was like, I ain't want to say nothing, but they want to be mad at us. What they want to do is like, yeah, it's y'all. It's on y'all. Look in the mirror. Y'all need to look in the mirror. I'm like, I wanted to hit him again, but I couldn't. I'm like, So now I'm out in the pod. Niggas like, man, y'all chill the fuck out, man. So I'm like, man, you know what I mean? So I look at C. Selly. C. Selly like, I mean, he was like, yo. I was like, what's up, man? I walked through. I feel stupid. Like, I hate being in a situation where it ends stupid. Like, I didn't even get the chance to run with the fucking old head like I wanted to, man. But for real, though, I shouldn't even went in his cell and disrespected. So I was wrong. You know what I mean? I was wrong about that whole shit, man. But when Thomas' roommate called me, I was like, what's up? He was like, hey, look, calm down. First of all, he was like, well, look, I don't think it's my celly Weezy, man. I was like, what? He was like, man, I thought about it. Like, I just started watching him and shit. He was like, man, like, for real, though, bro, he really do work. Goddamn, he be working and shit, bro. He was like, man, listen, I've been in the cell with a man 8 months. He was like, man, that man could have been told a lot of shit, bro. He said, you see what I do, Weezy? I buy the la-la. He said, man, that man ain't never really been telling like that. I said, man. He said, man, that man ain't never told, bro, since I've been in the room with him, bro. He said, now, he looks shaky. He do shaky shit. And that shit he said about you was some lame shit. You know what I mean? He was like, he just a fucking old head that just blunt as hell. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, I hear you, bro. I was like, but still, though, bro, I was like, man, something ain't right, though, bro. Like, ain't no way in the world everybody that went down like that. Even my niggas upstairs. I was like, ain't no fucking way. I was like, man, hell no, I ain't going for that shit. I ain't going for that shit, man. We got to find the fuck out who's doing this shit immediately, bro. You know what I mean? He was like, man, all I'm saying is, bro, like, I don't think it's my celly and his homeboy, bro. He said, now them old heads, I ain't putting shit past them niggas. He said, but as far as my celly, his homeboy, he said, they ain't got nothing to do with it, Weezy. I said, I believe you, bro. So boom, I had to kind of fall back. It was a little bit too much energy. Y'all know how I get from now. Y'all know how I get by now. Y'all know I get turned fast. Like, you know what I mean? I'm going to think later. I'm going to get turned fast and think later. That's what I do. So, like, I had to bring myself back. Because I kind of overreacted. I kind of went at a dude that I didn't have no proof of anything. And I went in his homeboy cell because that could have turned out a little bit more uglier. Like, I'm thanking God that I made it out that situation, to be honest with y'all, man. But for the most part, though, man, we still have a rat in the pod, man. But was it sitting well with me that it was a rat in the pod? It really wasn't, you know what I mean? But all I know is this, man. Like, I just felt like the only solution for me was to get out of that block. Like, my homeboy Ben told me come upstairs, and I felt like it was about time for me to dip, man. I've been in there now over 5-6 months. And it was about time for me to dip. The last 2 months has been hectic with this telling shit, with this ratting shit. So it was like, man, I just gotta kind of just get out this situation, man. So as bad as I was gonna feel about having to pill with my celly, man, it was time for me to dip, y'all. So boom, I went and hollered at the unit manager. Went and hollered at the sergeant. They told me see if it was a situation where I can get up there and they'll move me. I went back downstairs. I told my celly, he said, you move? I'm like, yeah. He's like, man, why you moving, man? I said, man, cuz, bro, I can't stay down here, man. He like, man, look, Weezy, man. God damn, Weezy, man, you can't. I'm like, bro, look, you know what I mean? I can't, bro. You know what I mean? Like, for real, bro. Like, I ain't staying down this bitch, man. Like, this shit ain't even worth staying down this motherfucker no more, bro. Like, for what? Why would I stay down here? You know what I mean? So I'm like, bro, I ain't doing shit. You know what I mean? I'm about to dip upstairs and stay out the fucking way, bro. Like, I ain't got time for this. I'm not staying down this bitch with fucking old ass Thomas and his homeboys, man. I'm out of here, man. So you like, damn, Weezy, man, that shit crazy. He was mad about me leaving. You know what I mean? I'm like, bro, but I gotta go. My guy. So I packed my stuff up. They had the situation. And I shot the 4C, y'all. I got the 4C, man. It was a much better situation. I was on the top bunk at first, pause. You know what I mean? Because I moved into somebody else's cell. So after he was in there for a while, I ended up moving in another cell with my homeboy. But like, this was in like a 2 weeks of time. But the whole time I was up there, everybody was asking me like, yo, bro, what the fuck was going down in 4B? I'm like, yo, a bunch of telling ass, stick struck ass old heads. That's what the fuck was going down in there. And niggas were like, yo, that shit ain't going on up here. And I knew it. It wasn't. It's just a different situation, different pods. That's just how that goes. But this shit's so crazy, man, on everything, man. Guess how people found out who the rat was in 4B. Man, that shit crazy. They locked the whole building down. They had locked the building down. We don't know what was going on, but they had locked the whole goddamn building down. So we don't know shit. They fed us in a pod, every damn thing for the whole day. So when we come out, we go to breakfast. When we go to breakfast, they was like, yo, it was a situation that happened in 4B. They was like, the dude in cell 35, man, the old head dude got thrashed, man. It was like, that nigga damn near had to go to the hospital, man. It was like his roommate, the dude that moved in there before me, it was like he thrashed his ass. I was like, wait, thrash Unc, man. I was mad. I was like, what? I was like, what the fuck? Unc don't fuck with nobody. They was like, nah, bro. They was like, man, this word, man. It was like, his roommate found out that he was the rat. I was like, what? They was like, yeah. They was like, look. They said, man, first, they was like the white dude that used to fuck with Sean. You know what I mean? That they used to, the one dude, you know, like he got Sean. Somebody got Sean out the goddamn hole. But they said it was a white dude. And this white dude used to always burn the phone up, always talking to his girl on the phone all fucking day. My roommate used to get on the phone from time to time, at least once or twice a week. You know what I mean? I would see him get on the phone. He'd tell me he's calling his family. But it would fuck me up that he would call his family and still wouldn't have no money. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like, why are you calling your family? You still don't got no money. Nevertheless, I never said nothing to him about it. They said the white dude was on the phone next to him, man. And my roommate would get on the phone. This is how he would use the phone. I remember. He would get on the phone like this. He'd be on the phone. He'd be on the phone like this. He always hiding his face. He'll hide his face like this. And I never knew. I never asked him for a three-way. He never asked me for a three-way. I never knew what was going on. They said the white dudes heard him on the other phone talking to somebody that was in here. And they said the reason why they knew he was talking to somebody that was in here, because he was giving somebody's cell number. They say he was giving up somebody's cell number, man. And like, that shit was some scary shit to say. So they said when they told his roommate, they say his roommate thrashed him off the rip. They said it was a black dude from Richmond that didn't give a fuck. That nigga patience won't like mine. That nigga patience won't like mine. They said that nigga thrashed my whole roommate, man. His word. They said niggas went in his paperwork. Man, this man had all type of letters and memoirs of shit that he was doing. My name and shit, all type of shit, man. They were trying to jam me up. All type of shit, man. Word. I bump into dude, his celly. I bumped into his celly like a year later. A year later, man, I'm talking about, this was when I was at 2B. Like, I bumped heads with him, and I finally got a chance to talk to him. And I was like, yo, I said, man, you, my roommate, he was like, bro, you the dude Weezy? I was like, yeah. He was like, man, like, for real, he probably was trying to get your ass. Like, you know what I mean? I said, yo, now I think about it, I said, he used to always tell me he trying to smoke out of the blue, and he used to always talk about who got it, where it come from, and all this shit. And I said, damn sure he was the first person that I told that my homeboys upstairs them had to pack. I said, man, that shit crazy. I said, man, but what threw that nigga off with me is when I stopped smoking on his dumb ass. I stopped messing with the Lala for those 2 weeks. I said, they couldn't get me. I said, but he got everybody else. I said, this nigga a petty bitch. He said, man, look, that nigga admitted. He said, man, I beat that nigga ass so bad till the police came. He said, that nigga admitted it. He said, guess why that nigga say he was snitching? I said, why? He said, man, giving him $50 a month. I said, what? He said, yeah. He said, bro, that nigga said he was giving him $50 a month, man. I said, yo. I said, man, that nigga only used to go to commissary once a fucking month. I said, yo, that shit was crazy, man. Like, I never expected that my roommate was the damn rat, y'all. Man, that shit was wild, man. Like, after dude thrashed him, like, he didn't thrash him like assault thrash. He beat the shit out of him. Like, you beat the shit out of somebody, you can come out the hole for that, man. So, the dude that beat the shit out of him from Richmond came out the hole, but my celly, he never came the fuck out the hole, but the whole time, he was the one that was fucking telling. Ain't that some shit, y'all? Like, I ain't even gonna lie, like by the skin of my teeth, I got away, man. It was like God told me to stop messing with the Lala for that particular moment. God told me don't even mess with him with the Lala. When it was at the end, he was trying to get me to score for my homeboys. Like, that shit was crazy, man. I felt like the investigators sent him at me because they always would try to get me, but the only way they would get me is by dirty yarns. They never get the pack off me, man. So, like, I felt like I had the pack in there on my roommate, but I think he couldn't get me in a way like he gonna get them to run down and he in there, which he could have. But he never knew if I had it overnight or I gave it up. Now, I might have a couple of feezies that I'm messing with, but at the end of the day, I never used to keep the whole joint on me. And he probably knew that, and that's probably why he can never run that type of blitz, man. Either way, from that situation right there, man, I never trusted another dude. I'm not lying to y'all. The rest of the time in prison, man, especially on Sussex 2, I didn't trust nobody like that no more, man. Like, that right there just was like the craziest shit, one of the craziest shit I've been through. But at the end of the day, man, you earn your trust. So everybody else since then, man, like, I got to a point where at first I wasn't trusting, then I just let people earn their trust, man. But like, you never know. I never expected him, man. I fought Thomas homeboy, man. Word, man. Then I seen old head in the visiting room later on down the line. The one I rumbled. And he seen me and he was like, he had a look like, you owe me an apology. And I said it, man. I docked him. I was like, man, look, man, my bad up, man. He was like, yeah, you heard about it? I said, yo. He was like, yo, damn, Sally was the wreck. I said, yo, that shit crazy, man. Penitentiary is nuts, man. Please stay y'all ass out of penitentiary. I don't want to ever see y'all in this place that I'm talking about, man. This shit is tricky. It's a whole nother world. You don't want to be in there. But that's the end of the damn story, though. I appreciate y'all for watching, man. Y'all know the count, man. Stay out the way if you can live out here with your family, man. They need you, man. They don't need you in prison. They need you out here, period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This was the Thursday banger game. So what I need y'all to do with this one, like, share, subscribe. This one, y'all. Let's get this. Skip. That's a long J. But y'all be safe out there and stay y'all ass hands out the way.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.